I'd like to thank Hal, first of all, for accepting the story in Broken Pencil, and to Richard for offering reprinting it in Canada. It's truly a gorgeous book. This story is first person, and the protagonist is a female, so I'd also like to thank my wife, who, when I gave this a practice read 2 days ago, assured me that it didn't sound weird. Camp Zombie. There is one rule at camp, and Mark breaks it. He wakes me up. Sleep is a rare commodity here, as deeply coveted as a box of Twinkies at Fat Camp. My first impulse is to swing out and kick him in the face. Lying in one of the hammocks, there are dozens of them all over camp, and at night they look like giant insect cocoons spun between the trees. I'm in the perfect position to do so, but when I roll to my side to kick, I lose my balance and start to fall out of the hammock. Mark catches me before I hit the ground, letting go of the feather he used to tickle me, and I watch as it seesaws gently to the ground. "What the hell are you doing?" I grumble in a furry voice. "Let me go." Mark sets me down. "Did you know your eyes get all puffy when you're tired? It's cute." "I'm always tired," I snap. "I know," he replies, "and you're always cute." I walk right into that one. I close my eyes and press a fist against the bridge of my nose, an old trick to prevent the headache that comes from being pulled so abruptly from sleep. "You must want something," I say, my eyes still closed. "What have you got today?" "A couple of classes, water therapy this morning and yoga in the afternoon." "You free tonight?" "Available, yes. Free, no." I try to sound dry and sultry, but with only 3 hours sleep in as many days, it comes out sad and pathetic. "Can you come over to the shack tonight, after lights out?" I look at Mark, really look at him, and see he's anxious, almost bursting with excitement. "What for?" I ask. "I've wanted to try something for a while now," he says vaguely. "This is the first year I've had the shack to myself." "That must be nice," I say, thinking of the sky blue cabin that I've been sharing with half a dozen girls this summer. "So can you come over?" "What for?" Mark smiles, and when he speaks, his voice is low and secretive. "I think I've found a cure." I'd been going to Camp Zombie since I was 6 years old, and when I turned 17, I became a counselor. It just seemed like the thing to do. I was so used to going that it became my summer routine. I couldn't imagine life without it, even though camp is only 2 months of the year. It's like being part of a secret society where instead of money or influence, you need a sleep disorder to be a member. You need to be a zombie. Mark and I walked down the dirt road to the wooden arch at the camp entrance. At the start of the summer, he stuck a sign in the ground next to the arch. It says, "You must be this tired to enter," and shows an extremely tired man hunched over, shoulders slumped, bags under his eyes hanging down to his feet. "I wasn't always a zombie," Mark tells me in a low confessional tone. "None of us were, Mark." "Yeah, but I can actually trace my life back to the point when I became one." He gives me a quick sidelong look, as if he's unsure whether or not to continue. "When I was little, I was one of those kids who crawled into his parents' bed in the middle of the night." "Every kid did that." "Yeah, but I did it every night. Every night." "Do you still do that?" "Don't be cute," Mark says, annoyed. "After a few years, I started sleeping on my own, and it was around that time that the night terrors began." "So what, you were scarred from sleeping with your parents?" "No," he says, a bit impatiently. "I was afraid because I no longer had someone to share my bed with." "Really?" I say, seeing where this is going. "I've been looking for a sort of," he gestures vaguely, "sleep companion, I guess you could say." "A bed buddy," I offer. "If you like," he says, grudgingly. "You want me to sleep with you?" "Well, yes." "Does your therapy include rolling over on top of me in the middle of the night, by accident, and dry humping me?" "I don't think so," he says, and scratches his chin uncertainly. "No way, I haven't lost that much sleep yet." I start to walk back up the road, and he comes after me, grabbing lightly at my shoulder. "Hey, I'm sorry, I was just trying to make it seem less strange." It is strange, and kind of perverse, I might add. Mark holds his hands up defensively. "I'm not trying to put you in a position where I can feel you up, accidentally or otherwise. My parents have been sending you a shrink. He's a nice enough guy, surprisingly. He told me to create a timeline of when my sleep problems first began. I did, and this is what I found out. The night terrors didn't start until I started sleeping alone." "Maybe," I concede. "Will you at least think about it?" he asks, almost pleads. "You don't even have to sleep. I just need you to be there. You can read a book or do a crossword puzzle, anything you want." I look at the gleam in his eye and feel a small stab of offense that he's actually more excited about the possibility of sleep than of having sex with me. I'll sleep on it, okay? The first thing I learned at camp is that insomnia is not a sleep disorder in itself, but rather a symptom of a larger problem. Sleep apnea, bruxism, somnambulism, take your pick. In my case, it's narcolepsy. That's the one where you fall asleep at different times of the day without warning. We're a lot of fun at parties. We're the coke rams. Mine is a mild case. I don't so much pass out as get unusually strong urges to sleep, sleep, sleep. These urges come on suddenly and are almost impossible to ignore. My mother calls me the jet-lagged vampire. We joke about my sleep disorder because that's what zombies do with their parents. They don't understand us and they can't help us. That's why they send us to camp. We look like everyone else, but in truth, we are not entirely human. I walk back to camp by myself, having dismissed Mark so I can think about his proposition. I leave the road and wander down to the lake. It has a Native American name, something long and hard to pronounce and fraught with historical significance. I keep forgetting it. People with sleep disorders have notoriously bad memories. It's the first thing to go once you start losing sleep. We just call it Lake Nod. The bright August sun makes the water look like liquid silver. Through the screen of trees on the far side, I can see Vista House, a commune for troubled teens. If by troubled, you mean pregnant. Some of the zombies call at camp, "You knocked me up big time." Curtis Yarwood says it's specifically for Catholic girls who have wandered off the path and gotten pregnant through non-immaculate conception. In the evening, you can hear them singing Kumbaya. I sit on a big rock overlooking the lake and wonder if any of the girls over there ever have any trouble sleeping. Probably a lot of them do. Even so, their concept of trouble sleeping is far different from ours. It could always be worse, is one of my mother's favorite sayings. She doesn't think a little sleeplessness is something to be concerned about. There are bigger problems in the world, she told me once. Easy for her to say. She hasn't lost a night's sleep in her life. Is it her peace of mind or the vial of Valium she keeps in her bathroom vanity? Either way, she's right. It could be worse. I could be sleepless and pregnant. Mark said I would be safe with him. But the truth is, he might not be safe with me.